like what's the greatest dominant defense anymore? There is no like dominant defense anymore. And I think the
Mm,
NFL wanted it like that so they could always
yeah,
put up points for ratings and what it is, you know?
true.
So you don't need a dominant defense to win a Super Bowl. You need a just okay defense to help win a Super Bowl, but you need a dominant offense to win a Super Bowl.
Mm.
Uh, you need all those levels of a great run game, a great passing game. You need to be balanced. You need to be able to do both, unless you're Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, you know. But
Yeah.
I think the thing is for the 49ers this year, um, looking at the way Jimmy's played so far, I mean, it's week one. I mean, we have overreaction on both sides of positivity and negativity. We're not going to really know what this team is until week eight, after they go through the gauntlet of their games within their division. Um, we'll have a better understanding of what they're capable of doing. But in your opinion, if you just looked at these teams and you looked offensively, where do the 49ers rank in the division?
I gotta say last. I'm sorry. They have an excellent running game. They really do. And they have good playmakers, but I think they're just limited by their quarterback in ways that the other teams aren't. I mean, I'm sorry. I think the Niners are probably going to end up with the lowest rated offense in this division. Now, I know it's the highest rated right now. They scored 41 points. We'll see what happens. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like we usually are always going to have a pretty good offensive game plan. But like Tony referenced earlier, I feel like this is on the offense this season. Um, I feel like going forward, it's most likely going to be on the offense of this team, depending on how far the team goes. Um, for having an offensive-minded coach, um, it always never made sense to me that we were so defensive oriented and we weren't
Right.
dominated by the offensive side of the ball.
Well, let me say one
Um,
thing. I think the
that
red
always,
zone efficiency should
yeah,
improve this year with Trey Lance. I mean, they're going to use Trey Lance in the red zone. Hold on. I think if Trey
yeah,
Lance gets this job and starts playing more, they can be a dominant offense because at that point, like the only thing holding them back is his inexperience. Like they honestly, they have everything in terms of except for like great pass protection. They would have everything you would want an offense to have in terms of skill sets. If they can make
yeah,
that
they
transition,
do. They have
whenever
a
becomes ready. But as long as Jimmy's here, nothing against Jimmy, but you know what the limit of this offense is. You know what it's going to look like.
yeah,
Those
yeah. I
LB,
know exactly. I
yeah,
know, and that's the thing is, it's like, man, I understand the guy can be efficient. I understand he has his moments where
yeah,
he could do well. But the ceiling is just we know what the ceiling is, and
right,
I think for some fans they're like, no, like he's gonna transform it, dude. He's 30 years old. What do you think this guy's gonna transform into? It's like he
right,
is what he is. He's efficient when everything's going well around him. It's good. Um,
right.
but when you get to the playoffs and you play against the best competition and they take away what it is that you do, I think that's why some of us fans still feel like, man, we've seen that already. We've seen that already where when you're going to play against the best and they take away the middle of the field, they're going to force you to go outside. They're going to take away the run. Are you going to be able to make those plays? Unless Jimmy's arm has supremely gotten much more stronger and much more accurate, it's like on the deep balls, I don't understand where you're thinking this is going to come from, where we're going to stretch the field and put pressure on defenses. I thought that's why we got Trey Lance. I thought that's what the point of this was to
Right.
make it more difficult for opposing defenses.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's for
and maybe it's
2025. That's for 2025.
it's like, man, I mean, I get it. This I've never had no personal problem with Jim. It's just like I thought we already went through this whole thing when the coach made it known that he wanted to move on. And it's like
I know,
fans
but
get
now we're like,
so
no,
upset. The other
we
side,
like Jimmy.
yeah. So it's like I don't know, But in this game coming up against the Eagles, for me, the offensive player who has to do well, who needs to score touchdowns, who needs to have that impact that puts them over the top is George Kittle.
Mm,
Um, same thing with George. When you're making this much
agree.
money and you're treated as you are on this team as a captain, and you're playing against a team that doesn't really have good linebackers, you should have better matchups. Then George needs to set that tone and put up the points. I think early on. I don't think we can play
Yeah,
every
George needs
team
to
and think
score a
they're
touchdown.
not. Yeah, George needs to put up
Challenge
some
of the week,
touchdowns.
George, score a touchdown, dude. Everyone has you in the Hall of Fame already. I was looking at the Hall of Fame tight end. Some of these guys like have scored 115 touchdowns. I mean, Antonio Gates has scored more than 100 touchdowns. Like, you scored 14. Come on, man. They could use it. I mean, Trent Sherfield could do it too, I guess. Sherfield's their guy in the red zone right now. And Lance.
I
So, yeah,
mean,
Kittle, come on, man.
yeah. Yeah, for me, it's Kittle
Think
has to have
about
that
Jimmy.
type
We were
of
saying,
game,
like,
though.
the efficiency. Yeah, man, he was like, he had 1 touchdown. That was good. Kyler had 5. Russell had 4. Stafford had 3. And that's
Yeah,
how it's going
man.
to be with these guys. So it's just a different
Yeah,
level of fire.
if you watch any of those games, like I watched the Ram game, it was like, man, they're going to be putting pressure on defenses all year going deep. All year, they're going to go deep, putting pressure on defenses. So for us, the 49ers, looking at our young secondary, I'm with play the rookies right now again these games, like against Philadelphia, I thought that you're not going to know what you have anyways. You obviously felt like this was the move to do in the draft because you didn't draft differently and you put your investment in these players with Ambry Thomas and Demo. So I guess it's time to put them in play since you felt like they were going to be good enough depth anyways. So put them in play. If they don't succeed right away, I mean, because think about it, you're going to put in Josh Norman and Drake Kirkpatrick, who haven't been playing, haven't been training, and not expect them to have something pop or tear or sprain or something early on. They're not in football shape still. And you want them to go up against Jalen Reagor and Devontae Smith?
True. Here's the thing, though, and then I got to take more calls. And they're in a tough spot because what the Eagles showed week 1 on film was a lot of screens to wide receivers. And Ambry, what he's shown on film so far is missing tackles. So if Ambry's on the field, he's getting tested. If Norman's on the field, he's getting tested. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how those guys, because so far it seems like the league sort of respects Lenore's tape. Like, they're like, oh, we're not going to, he does good coverage. So far, I mean, really, they haven't gone after him like that, like a rookie. But the other guys are getting tested for sure. So we'll see. Raymond,
Yeah,
good call.
well, I think
yeah,
for sure. I think our secondary is going to get tested no matter what. I think you got that,
for sure,
no matter what.
Yeah, let's see what Lenore does too. I mean, it's only been 1 week and he hasn't gone against anyone good yet. So,
yeah, we'll see.